He's an all-Patriot League performer, first team. He can score the ball, and he can also get steals and make defense turn into offense.
And there is Marcus Howard. Jarrell McNeil, perhaps for just one more game, retains the title of Marquette's all-time leading scorer. Marcus Howard, 31 points to become the new scoring king for the Golden Eagles, 30 to tie. There's Marcus Howard, his teammate Theo John, ready to take the tip against Kevon Scott. We are underway, and welcome to a brand new college basketball season. It's good to be with you. Early bobble, and Howard fights for it and earns the tie-up. Possession arrow pointing to Marquette because they won the tip. You see our officials tonight. And this was a Marquette team that put up a lot of points last season, Dickie. They did not exactly end the season on a strong note. They were bounced in the first round of the NCAA tournament, but people think their defense is going to be much better this year.
Yeah, the defense should be able to turn some defense into offense. They started to improve defensively towards the end of the season. I'm looking for them to do better.
Chuck Champion, top of the key, guarded by Brendan Bailey. And here is Kosteka with the ball for Loyola. Lets it fly. And a brick tracked down by Marcus Howard. You know these Golden Eagles like to run. Transition bucket, Sakar Annam goes begging. Rebound to Loyola, Maryland.
First game of college basketball. You can already see the mishandle of the ball. Some hard shots. You'll see that in this early part. Everybody getting used to being back on the court for the season.
First game jitters, too, perhaps. Outstanding crowd on hand inside Fiserv Forum. Just year number 2 for this facility. And how about the keys to the game for Loyola and head coach Tavares Hardy?
Well, they have to get back in transition, be poised and patient, and poised and patient to lead to good shots, and then defend Marcus Howard in the ball screen defense.
It's Hardy's second season in Baltimore. Still working on establishing a new culture for the Greyhounds out of the Patriot League. And fitting that the season begins with a bucket and a three-pointer at that from Marcus Howard.
Picking up where he left off, the scoring machine.
Become Marquette's all-time leading scorer, not like we're keeping track or anything. That's a pop fly hauled down by Kobe McEwen, again the Utah State transfer. He sat out last year per NCAA transfer rules, and he nearly had his first bucket as a Golden Eagle. Isaiah Hart runs the point for Loyola. He's got it now. Pass to Scott up top. And yes, that is typically how Scott shoots his three-point shots. On the second chance, here's Chuck Champion. And Loyola still looking for its first points of the season. Sakar Annam, contested look, puts it back in. Yes, it does go.
That's what Sakar Annam has done for this Golden Eagles team his whole career. Bring energy points, bring energy on defense right there, attacking, and the first person to recover the offensive rebound putback.
This could very well be the largest crowd Loyola Maryland plays in front of all season, and they're 0 for 5 from the floor to start the game. And their go-to guy, Kosteka, still has not gotten it going. Howard. Nothing but net.
We've seen Marcus Howard heat up very quickly throughout the seasons. He can run points off so fast, you blink your eye, he'll have 15 points in 2 minutes.
A walking bucket if there ever was one. And Loyola Maryland still 0 for. Howard, he's feeling it. 8 points already. Timeout, Loyola Maryland. Tell you what, Dickie, that scoring record for Jarrell McNeil is looking awfully shaky right now. Marcus Howard is red hot to start the young season.
Him to make his first 3 to 4 buckets, he has 8 of Marquette's 10 points right now.
He hasn't missed yet this season. Outstanding crowd here on Marquette. What it's like to face Fiserv Forum completely engaged, thanks to the strong start by Marcus Howard. Hart wheels into the lane, and that's swatted away by the Big East block king, Theo John, back for more in his junior year.
Security, protect my house. Theo John was impressive last season, leading shot blocker in the Big East. Right here, rim protection, and that's what you want. That anchors your defense. Theo John aggressively blocking shots.
Chuck Champion with 2 on the shot clock. And Loyola Maryland now 0 for 9 in field goals. Howard into the lane that time, and the floater's working too.
You know, Marcus Howard has been effective over his first 2 to 3 years playing in a lot of ball screen defense. Today, he's showing you that he's increased his abilities to play one-on-one and create his own offense.
Loyola Maryland in all kinds of trouble right now. Marquette off to a scalding hot start. They have not allowed a bucket yet to the Greyhounds. Huge season, yeah, you could say that. It was a huge season last year for Marcus Howard. He was named the Big East Player of the Year. He was a unanimous All-Big East first-team selection and a second-team All-American. He averaged 25 points per game, and he dropped 53 against Creighton to set a Marquette record. And, Dickie, he is red hot to start this season.
Can you say hashtag buckets, the spot up, jab step from the top, and then the 3-ball corner pocket, and just showing the wide range of his game. The floater in the paint.
We talked to Steve Wojciechowski about this, and by the way, this is the current list, factoring in Howard's scoring totals tonight. So he is now 21 points away from becoming Marquette's all-time scoring leader. But so much was made in the offseason about, hey, does Marcus Howard need to play more off the ball? But look, when he's hot like this, you got to let a scorer go get his.
Absolutely, Chris. When you have a scorer hot, you keep going to him. You keep milking the cow until all the milk runs out.
Annam stepped out of bounds for Marquette. It's Loyola ball, and they're just looking for any kind of momentum at this point. Year number 6 for Steve Wojciechowski, the longtime Duke assistant coach.
Well, the Greyhounds have gotten some quality looks and shots. They just haven't made them. Just take a little time to get used to this big arena, wide open arena.
The dish by Kostecka goes inside to Jalen Andrews, and he's fouled. So that's a good start. Just get yourself to the line.
Well, I'm sure when they went to the timeout, Coach Tavares Hardy said, hey, we've taken a lot of jump shots. We've had some good looks. Let's get an aggressive attack to the paint, which you saw Kostecka get to the paint and create an opportunity for his teammate to get fouled.
Foul goes on Brendan Bailey, his first, the team's first. And the sophomore from Owings Mills, Maryland at the foul line. Puts that one off the back iron. Andrews was just a 64% free throw shooter last year. And he's shooting right into the teeth of the Marquette student section.
It can be difficult when you're not used to playing in this kind of arena, and when you have a suspect free throw shooting percentage. Those two things don't help the chances there.
Greg Elliott is on the floor for the first time for Marquette as Howard keeps on making it rain.
Coach Wojciechowski doing what coaches should do. Marcus Howard on fire right now. They ran him off the baseline and got him a good look in the corner.
He might have the scoring record by halftime at this point as Kostecka misses the flush. Annam fouled by Brent Holcomb of Loyola.
And you saw Marcus Howard coming off of the baseline screens, catch and shoot, lock loaded and ready at all times. That's what a scorer does. You're talking about a kid in Marcus Howard who has 13 of his team's 15 points right now, who is the second leading returning scorer, Chris, from last season, only behind my man at Detroit, who's the lead scorer, he averaged 26 last season. But Marcus Howard is coming back. Antoine Davis at Detroit is the leading scorer, returning scorer from last season.
Hard to believe, in fact, that there was a player returning to the game this year who scored more points per game than Marcus Howard. Annam came up empty at the free throw line. And another miss, that time in the layup attempt by Cam Spencer, the true freshman. Loyola is 0 for 11, and Marcus Howard might have the scoring record by halftime at this rate.
Somebody out there has the cheat code to the game. Somebody's playing with Marcus Howard right now. They have the cheat code. Hasn't missed a shot.
He's unconscious right now. Meanwhile, Loyola couldn't throw it in the ocean.
He's got to pull up another one. He's got to pull up another one. He's feeling it.
hear the crowd rising to a fever pitch there. That was Howard's first miss of the game, if you can believe that. Over champion.
The one thing you can't do if you're the Greyhounds and you're Chuck champion, you cannot lose sight of Marcus Howard. He lost sight, gave Marcus Howard an opportunity to get in rhythm on his second opportunity, and you know he's not going to miss 2 in a row the way he's feeling right now.
Another turnover. 19 points for Howard. Blocked that time by Kostecka.
Right there, Chris, the Greyhounds seemed like they had a little bit more sense of urgency defensively, being locked in on Howard. Champion did an excellent job giving him resistance when he was on the bounce, and then Kostecka coming over to get the block shot from weak side.
Elliott off the left side of the rim, and Hart is able to save it for Loyola, Maryland.
That's Greg Elliott's first shot in a long time. Had to sit out last season due to the injury of his hand.
Elliott had a tough summer, too. He actually had ankle surgery in the offseason following a off-season workout over the summer as Marcus Howard gets a much-deserved rest. He's got 19 of Marquette's 21 points. Another miss, and Ed Morrow Jr., the Nebraska transfer, pulls it in for Marquette. Hard fall taken that time by Kobe McEwen. Jump ball.
Being a scorer, averaging 20-plus points last season, he's also a good defender. Right there, he tied up the ball. He comes up with 2+ steals a game and was on the all-defensive team in the Patriot League.
And he led the Patriot League in scoring and steals last year. Truly a two-way player. And then a foul goes against Marquette on the inbounds pass.
Kostecka averaged 20-plus points and 2+ steals. There was only 2 players in college basketball last year. Andrew, and we know who the other one was.
Zion Williamson.
The #1 pick in the NBA draft.
Talk about elite company.
Absolutely.
Kenneth Jones, long-range shot, and finally he turns the net inside out.
Good look, Kenneth Jones coming off the bench, ready to play. Had his hands, shot preparation. Shot preparation is key to help you have a higher chance of knocking down shots.
Loyola missed its first 13 shots before that one went for Jones. McEwen, beautiful blow-by.
McEwen is the excellent addition to this team. He is the guy that's going to help Marcus Howard be able to play off of the ball and be more of a scorer.
Foul as Hart made his way into the lane. Jamal Kane, the junior from Pontiac, Michigan, picks up his first.
McEwen, an aggressive rim attacker. He gets to the paint. He uses a strong body. He's a veteran player, knows how to play.
Played 2 seasons for the Aggies at Utah State. Hart turned away. Jones. John fighting for the rebound with Golden DK, the Spaniard for Loyola, Maryland, and it's out of play. Timeout on the floor. Marcus Howard has done some special things already for Marquette this year. He's got the Golden Eagles way out in front.
Horn strong, the last execution was great. Great drive. When you do drive, keep your feet and keep your pivot foot. Okay? All right. Our ball coming full court. Be ready for a change in defense. Okay, whether it's their 1-2, 1-2.
Well, you can see Coach Wojo. He's directing his team on the attack in the basket. One of the things he pointed out in their practice yesterday, he had guys taking off on the one leg, and he doesn't want them doing that unless they can attack the basket directly. Otherwise, 2-foot stop, you make yourself more of a threat to pivot and find guys. And then coaches always have to forecast and prepare their team for what the opponent's going to do next, and he prepared them to look out for a change in defense, which the Greyhounds have done right now.
Marquette started the game on a 21-0 run. Marcus Howard had 19 of those points for Marquette, and he's still on the bench.
You can see, Chris, even though Coach Roscoe prepared them for the defensive change, they still turned the ball over.
But it really doesn't matter how many turnovers Marquette has if Loyola can't hit shots. They've only got one field goal tonight. They're 1 for 17 from the floor. Elliott. Here's the 2-foot jump stop that Dickey was talking about. And it comes back outside the arc to McEwen. And he's fouled.
You saw Greg Elliott get to the paint, like you pointed out, the 2-foot stop and the pivot. What Coach Wojciechowski talked about, he was able to maneuver and see his teammates and make a good pass.
Howard back into the game. Native of Chandler, Arizona. Found a home up here in Milwaukee. There's another turnover, Dickey. Hart loves driving the left side of the lane. Kick out up top. Jalen Andrews off the mark, and Brendan Bailey with the rebound.
Loyola, Maryland, they're getting a lot of good looks, a lot of good opportunities.
That was not a good look for Marcus Howard, and he may have been poked in the eye.
Looks like his contact popped out. That might be the best defense you can have versus Marcus Howard, Chris.
Get him playing with one contact.
Makes the contact pop out.
No, he's staying on the floor. Must have slid back into place.
Wait.
On the move, looking for the inbounds pass. He's got it from McEwen. On the rebound, here comes Loyola as they look to run. Loyola was picked to finish 4th in the Patriot League this year. They returned over 90% of their scoring from last year's team. That's block number 2 for Theo John. Marcus Howard, pull-up, shot blocked. And he goes to the line for 3.
Rejection thrown. Theo John using athleticism, anticipation, and pursuing block shots aggressively. You cannot go in there without absorbing body contact to protect yourself and have a better chance to make it, because Theo John will block shots.
And he looks pretty good even with that brace on his right wrist. Marquette is a little bit banged up. Jace Johnson, a transfer from Utah, injured his knee in the week leading up to the season, so he's out of the lineup tonight for Marquette. But you certainly couldn't tell based on the score right now. Thanks almost entirely to Marcus Howard, who's got 22 points tonight of Marquette's 26.
I think it's safe to say that Marcus Howard will most likely become the all-time leading scorer here at Marquette tonight.
I think what is even more intriguing is, will he get it before halftime?
That is a high possibility. He only needs 9 more points.
Tipped out of bounds by Sakar Annam of Marquette. It stays with Loyola. 14 on the shot clock. And that is to the minute. How about that? Marcus Howard, he was at the free throw line. He drained all 3 of his free throws with a bad contact. So maybe it doesn't matter whether his contacts are in or out.
Part of his workout may be to work out with one contact in and one contact out, just in case this happens in the game.
That's a good point. Chuck Champion, but that's an offensive foul.
Oh, I need to see some replay on that. It looked like Chuck Champion got up in the air before the position was established. No, I mean, the position was there. He definitely was outside of the restricted area. Close call right there.
It always is, that's for sure. Sometimes looks different when you slow it down versus in real time.
Well, that was one of those where Torrance was already in the air and kind of faded into the defender.
Rebound down to Scott. And hey, if you're looking to poke holes in Marquette's 26-3 lead right now to start the season, maybe you want to see somebody else score besides Marcus Howard.
Well, one of the things you will need to start finding out here early in the season, do you have other guys that you can rely on to score the ball when Marcus Howard is out of the game or when he's not on fire? And there's my man Tavares Hardy, head coach.
You guys have got a lot of shared history, right?
Absolutely. He recruited out of my AAU program for a long time when he was at Northwestern. Here's a guy that has experience coaching in the ACC, the Big East, and the Big Ten. And he fits the coaching of Loyola, Maryland because he went to a high academic school. He understands what type of kids he needs to have to continue to build the culture.
Beautiful bounce pass to Kevon Scott. That's a blocking foul that time on Marquette. No shot.
One of the things I have to say is Greyhounds have done a good job being patient and getting passes and getting to the paint. Getting it to Kevon Scott right there. He was being aggressive and strong with the ball. You can't ask for anything more. I mean, at the beginning of the game, you had Kostecka had the missed dunk. That's an easy 2 points. You had the free throws. Kostecka still struggling to get a bucket here.
Again, Kostecka averaged 21 points per game last year, the Marcus Howard equivalent for Loyola, Maryland. Here's Annam on the drive. No touch on the glass, but Morrow is there to clean it up and put it back in. His first 2 points of the season. Hart out of control, but fouled.
First person, 15 foul.
So with this lineup that Marquette has in support right now, not really known as a shooting lineup. Brendan Bailey, probably the better perimeter shooter.
Hart got that one to go.
Isaiah Hart, a tough kid from Morrow, Georgia. All 5'11" of him got in there, used his body, concentrated on the finish, got it on the glass.
He started every game last year for Loyola. And after a slow start to the season, ended up averaging nearly 13 points per game in the Patriot League. And this is a true freshman on the dribble right now, Cam Spencer for Loyola, that the Greyhound staff is really high on. They say he's got a great three-point shot. Hart tied up, fighting for it. And Morrow tried to pull it away from him. It's a tie-up. Possession arrow to Loyola, Maryland. Timeout on the floor. Marquette handling the Greyhounds in the first half. 28-5. Marquette all over Loyola in an explosive start to the new season for the Golden Eagles, in particular Marcus Howard, who's got 22 points. Here is how the coaches in the Big East stacked up the lineup this year. And for the first time in 5 years, Villanova was not the preseason #1 pick. Marquette, you see, picked to finish tied for fourth with Providence. Now, I haven't seen my broadcast partner Dickie Simpkins list yet, but I know it's got to be exactly... Oh, no, it's not the same as the coaches poll. What gives, my man?
Well, I mean, I've moved them around a little bit. It's pretty much still the same consensus up there.
Yeah.
But I think Xavier has the most top-to-bottom veteran players back with experience. And that's a hard-nosed, tough unit down there. Seton Hall, again, with veteran play. And then, you know, Coach Jay Wright is always going to have a Villanova team playing at a high level. Providence has a unit of veteran players back and young players that have experience now. So I expect them to do well. And then with the scoring machine of Marcus Howard, you can always count Marquette into that discussion of the top five.
And look, Marquette's perception, certainly outside of the Big East, took a hit when the news broke that the Hauser brothers were transferring. It certainly puts more pressure, you would think, on Marcus Howard to carry the offensive load for this team. But the defense is supposed to be better for Marquette this year, so maybe that will take some of the load off Howard's shoulders.
So defense should increase. It did at the end of last season. Losing the Hauser brothers, especially Sam. I felt like Marcus was a scoring machine, but Sam was the glue to this team last year. He was a versatile utility guy, could do a little bit of everything, and now they have to find the scoring to replace him.
Rebound pulled down by Morrow, and he's fouled by Golden DK on the return to the basket.
Ed Morrow, a transfer from Nebraska, a Chicago kid right down the road, played at Simeon High School, strong undersized forward. And one of his strengths is right here, scrumming out, retrieving, tracking down offensive rebounds to give Marquette a second opportunity.
He was just a 62% free throw shooter last year, however. But he did come on strong, in particular late in the year. His season totals shook out to about 6 points, 5 rebounds per game, but he turned in more than a couple double-digit rebound performances in the final month. 0 for 2. Rebound saved by Jamal Cain. Elliott blocked by DK, and Loyola has got some space. Kenneth Jones to Cam Spencer. Air ball. Great rebound by DK. Blocked by Morrow, but that's a goaltend.
Cam Spencer got his first look at college basketball. Don't be alarmed about Cam Spencer's look. He's a good shooter. But right here, you see a DK, strong offensive rebound, strong putback. Here's a young guy from Spain coming off of playing for the Spanish U18 team in the European competition this summer. They're looking for a lot of big things coming from him inside.
The Spain's U18 team actually took gold at U18 Euros over the summer. Howard turns it over. Hart to Kostecka. And the first 2 points of the season for the All-Patriot League senior Andrew Kostecka from Germantown, Maryland.
And right there, the Greyhounds turning defense into offense, but most importantly, got Kostecka an easy shot to finally see the ball go through the basket. Hopefully that'll help lift him and be able to make his next shot.
And Kostecka's parents are here from Maryland. That was off the side of the backboard, but Marquette hangs on to it, and they turn it over again. Well, don't look now, but it's a 7-0 run for Loyola. Brent Holcomb, a brick. Jamal Cain inside, no touch. And both teams out of rhythm right now.
Out of rhythm, the game's a little hectic-skelter.
Sounded like someone's hand got slapped, but it's coming to Marquette.
Loyola, Maryland has to capitalize on those opportunities on 2-on-1 fast break. Kostecka still struggling to put the ball in the basket, but what I do like about the Greyhounds, they are scrappy right now defensively. Tavares Hardy talked to us, Coach Hardy talked to us at shoot-around, Chris, about how they needed to improve defensively. I'm pretty impressed of the segment they just had the last 3 possessions.
Annam off the mark, and Marquette is now 1 for its last 8. This is a Loyola Maryland team that will play hard. Their offensive numbers improved dramatically under Tavares Hardy last year in his first season. They went from the 218th ranked offense in all of Division I basketball to the 85th. Defense, however, is something that needs to improve, but the #1 defense in the country right now would be having a hard time containing Marcus Howard.
Well, Marcus Howard has that wiggle. We call this the wiggle. When you have that ball handling that can create offense, put it through your legs a couple of times and attack with the strong shoulders, the concentration, get it off the glass, finish to go for a possible 3-point play.
He's an excellent free throw shooter as well. He shot 89% at the line this year, and he's 4 for 4 tonight. Give Howard 25 points, and he needs 6 to become Marquette's all-time leading scorer. What a start. And a turnover at half court. Elliott got his mitts in there. The feed into the corner. Annam off the rim. Here goes Kostecka. He flipped it back to Jones, and John with block number 3.
Theo John knows his role for this team. He knows how valuable his role is. He knows it, he accepts it, he embraces it, and he's a star at his role. A defensive presence in the paint, chasing down block shots.
He runs exceptionally well at 6'9", 255. Reading like a football score right now, 31-10. Elliott gets into a tie-up in the lane, jump ball, possession arrow to Marquette.
Elliott looks like he's 10 years old. And he's trying to get his rhythm back. He hasn't played in the game in a whole season. He's trying to get his conditioning right, coming off some injuries. He is playing hard. He just can't get it going offensively, but it'll get there.
Yeah, expected to be more of a short burst guy, especially early in the season, but he's been getting some extended court time in the first half relative to what we may have expected, and he's getting his hands involved.
Well, I think it's a combination of one, when you're Marquette and you're Coach Wojo, you want to find an opportunity, especially when you're up by this much, to find time for Elliott to get his rhythm back. Because before he got hurt and before he sat out last season, he was coming along. His maturation process was very good his freshman year.
It sure was, and almost unfortunate, really, that he had to take the redshirt year last year. Not because he wanted to, but as Dickie mentioned, because he suffered an injury preseason last year to his hand. He's got his first 2 points of this season, though. Redshirt sophomore from Detroit. Jones with the step back. John with the rebound. Howard. And Kane was fouled as he tried to track down that loose ball.
Well, that was very good defense by Chuck Champion on Marcus Howard right there, using his size, using his length, using his ability to move laterally with quickness and stand in front of him and contesting and making it a difficult shot.
And look, it's gotten to the point now where it's not just first game jitters for Loyola Maryland. Marquette's looking good defensively, right?
Marquette is looking absolutely tremendous defensively as a team. Their team defense, their defensive court awareness, helping each other out, being where they need to be. And then Theo John anchoring the defense in the paint, being a rim protector.
Two points for Jamal Kane, and that tops his season average from last year as a sophomore. He averaged 1.7 per game.
If you're Loyola Maryland, you still have to be poised and patient to get a quality shot.
A whistle with 7 on the shot clock and a foul on Loyola. They didn't get a quality shot that time. Instead, it's Kevon Scott's second foul, and we go to break with Marquette up by 25. Coming up on tonight's halftime report, Rob Stone, Bill Raftery, Steve Lavin, and Jim Jackson will have a look at freshman fundamentals, plus first half highlights and stats from here in Milwaukee. That's coming up at halftime. You saw the Marquette student section a moment ago. They stand at the start of every game until the first bucket is made, and they didn't have very long to wait until Marcus Howard made his first bucket of the season. He's got 25 points already in the first half, Dick.
He's been explosive. He has lived up to what's advertised and what we talked about in the opening. Him finishing last season on fire. He's just picking up where he left off. But you made a good point early, the question will be who picks up the slack scoring-wise when Marcus Howard is out of the game or in foul trouble or when he's not on fire.
He cashes in another one. 28 points for Marcus Howard. He's 3 away from becoming Marquette's scoring king.
Well, that question I just asked, you don't have to worry about that right now. That is not an issue right now.
That's a foul on Jamal Cain as Marquette is on a 10-0 run.
The one thing I've always been impressed with Marquette is their passing precision, making good passes to shooters, which helps them have a higher chance of making shots. That last possession, that was a precise pass on the dime to Marcus Howard, the quick catch and shoot.
And he was off ball there, too. Kosteka off the mark at the line. Still looking to get into groove tonight. First meeting between Loyola, Maryland, and Marquette. Both schools are Jesuit institutions. There's no relation, by the way, between the 3 Loyola schools, Maryland, Marymount, and Chicago. They do share the Loyola name and are all Jesuit schools, but they're not a school body, perhaps. That's a three-pointer from Brendan Bailey, the sophomore out of Salt Lake City.
And Brendan Bailey made progressions last season. He's in the starting lineup. He's a versatile wing who can provide perimeter shooting and help space the court.
Andrews, way long, and again, the missed shots for Loyola, Maryland, maybe they're good looks, but they've been some really off-target misses so far. Marcus Howard has not had many of those as being a miss, but Bailey saves it for Marquette after some fine work by Theo John. But here goes Kosteka, and that was Marcus Howard who got his paws in there, but that's a foul.
I have to give it to Kosteka. He is working hard to get it going offensively for this team. Playing the passing lane with anticipation, creating an opportunity in offense off his defense, and attacking the rim, getting fouled. Missed his last free throws. Where it's becoming mental right now. And we're hoping that he can break through that because we know he can score the ball.
He's an 81% free throw shooter, so you know what's going on is mental right now as that one swirls out, and Isaiah Hart checks back into the game for Loyola.
Well, the other thing I would say, Chris, is this big arena right now is not indicative or not similar to what Loyola plays in throughout the season. So this is a change of atmosphere.
Another miss at the free throw line. Kosteka stuck on 2 points so far tonight. Whistle off ball. As we remind you that Marcus Howard on the floor right now for Marquette needs 3 points to become the school's all-time leading scorer. Foul on Golden DK of Loyola.
Chris, I don't think I've ever seen a game where a player is a certain amount of points away from breaking some type of record at that school's history, especially if he's going into the game 20 or more points, and that player achieves, as you see, Theo John missed that free throw, that player achieves breaking that record in the first half. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Again, he needed 31, not 3, coming into the game. And it was something certainly that was on everyone's radar. The guy averaged 25 points per game last year, so you knew it was not beyond the pale, but my God, to be this close in the first half. That's even impressive by Marcus Howard standards.
And when we started the game, you notice I didn't say, well, he'll get it either this game or next game. I said, he's going to probably get that today.
You don't want to tempt fate, but here we are. Final 2 minutes until halftime. Champion with the pull. A contested shot, not the kind that Loyola is looking for. Down by 32. McEwen traveled.
Well, that was a tough shot by Champion. But the one thing I can say about this Loyola team, and the one thing I can say about Coach Hardy, when he took over last season, most coaches, when they take over, they start moving players out, bringing their own players in. Coach Hardy understands. He has the right temperament for this generation. As you see, he's trying to hit the backdoor cut.
Here's Bailey. And that's an offensive foul.
What I was saying was he has the right temperament for this generation, and he took over and he loved the kids up. He instilled in them confidence. He kept the kids showing that, hey, I trust in you, I have confidence, I'm going to build a culture with you guys, and they responded. Their progressions has been well built up throughout last season. And so you can give that to his whole coaching philosophy, his pedigree.
Into the corner, Kosteka saves it. Davis, another brick. I think you hit the nail on the head. Playing in this big arena, it's almost like it's got Loyola's depth perception a little bit off.
I'm going to say that is probably the majority of the shots that are being missed. And you said it. You said they're getting good looks, but they're bad misses. And when you have good looks and bad misses, usually it's because you're nervous or what I think the different setting, the depth perception, like you said.
And we're talking 4 of 35 in the first half. That's Loyola's field goal number right now. That shakes out to 11%.
Shooting 4 for 35, 11%, you're not going to give yourself a chance to win. And hopefully at halftime they can take a deep breath and get out of this slump.
Kosteka finally bottoms one from long range.
And he did what he does best, come off of screens, lock loaded and ready. He took a deep breath after he made that shot.
Had to feel good. 5 points for Kosteka. He was named the mid-major small forward of the year last year. Again, a dynamic player in the Patriot League. That one's knocked off the cylinder by DK. Here's Kosteka, beautiful feed to Hart. Hart tried to get it back to him, but too late, and cleans up his own miscue.
It was good they were able to make something out of that because they definitely need to capitalize on those type of opportunities in transition.
Shouts of "We are Marquette." Howard, this would be for the scoring record. If he gets a shot away, he's fouled and will have 3 free throws with 1 second left, so he could take home the record before halftime.
Okay. I'm going to say this, Chris.
Go for it. I want to hear this.
I would love to see him take home the record right now before halftime, but I have to question whether that was a foul right there. I'm going to give it to Chuck Champion. He's played excellent defense on the last several possessions against Marcus Howard, and obviously he is the designated defensive stopper towards Howard's offensive presence.
What do you think about Marcus Howard getting the record at the free throw line? I mean, we're being super picky here, but
well,
a little anticlimactic? I don't know.
Hopefully you won't free throw announcer jinx him on the free throw line.
So far, so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's considering there's 1 second left.
We'll have to wait.
Oh, well, thanks, Chris.
I'll fall on the sword for that one, but hey, I want to see him hit a jumper or maybe even a three-pointer to take home the record. He's got it tied right now. He's tied with Jarrell McNeil, but still a 30-point performance for Marcus Howard at the half. He was red hot tonight, just like the crowd inside Fiserv Forum is giving Loyola fits. Theo Janovic, part of the reason why. Marcus Howard enjoying a record-setting performance tonight in the season opener.